Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends. Hope everyone is doing good. In today's class, we will look into Class 11, Chapter 5, Bank Reconciliation Statement from the CBSE stream. One thing I want to make probably the students understand is there is no major difference between the state board book and the central board syllabus. While definitely yes, the central board syllabus has got couple of more chapters than the state board syllabus. But the way the problems are being dealt with and the way the solutions are being given, it is almost same because the problems and solutions are almost same. And the concept is same. There is no change in the concept, whether it is in state board syllabus or a central board syllabus. Yes, definitely central board syllabus has got more problems and solutions for practice, and conceptually it is much more detailed. So but while we will cover both state board and central board syllabus for the students for the purpose of students knowledge, in today's chapter we will go through the bank reconciliation statement from the class 11 chapter 5 CBS history. First, we have to understand in the double column cash book maintained by any organization, there are two columns. One is for the cash and the other one is for bank. So the cashier has to maintain the dual column cash book for cash transactions as well as bank transactions. And while the balance has to be matched at the end of the period, for the bank transactions, what has got recorded, it should match in I'm just typing in double column cash book. We have sorry, we have cash and bank balances, right? All transactions are recorded in the books. Okay, so at the end of the period, whatever be it month end or every month end or every fortnightly or every week or daily, at the end of the period can be anything. Period can be daily as well, day end or weekend or month end or quarter end, etc. or year end. At the end of the period, bank balance as shown in the cash book has to be reconciled with the bank balance as shown in the passbook. Why? All the transactions that is recorded in the books will get posted into the bank, whether it is cash receipt or cash paid or check received or check paid or cash deposited or cash withdrawn or anything, everything will get entered in the both bank column of the cash book as well as the bank passbook. Why should this be reconciled? One reason why it has to be reconciled is there can be timing difference. Why to do this reconciliation? Timing difference. And two, posting errors. Can this timing difference happen only from the cash book bank column? Can the posting errors can happen only in the cash book bank column? No, it can happen from the bank side as well, right? So, what is the timing difference? Suppose we are on today we are on 30th June, right? 30th June, which is the last calendar day of the month. We go to bank, deposit a check, which is outstation check. Bank will send it for clearance. Bank will send it for clearance. There can be delays 1 day or 2 day for the check to get credited to the bank account. 1 or more days in getting the credit in the bank account. While the cash book will already have entered, in the bank column of the cash book, we could have processed the journal entry and also recorded in the cash book that there is a check which has got deposited in bank. Right? Check deposited in bank will reduce the balance in the bank column of the cash book because the money is going out to the bank. So obviously the money will come down in the bank book, in the bank column of cash book, right? But the bank has to send the check for clearance and ensure that the money is actually transferred to the bank account. So it might take 1 day or 2 days, depends upon the nature of check, depends upon the outstation, and depends upon the balance available in the bank account of the person who has issued the check. So there can be 1 or 2 days delay in getting the money. That is called timing difference. So there will be a difference between the bank transactions entered in the cash book and the bank passbook. Second, what is a posting error? Posting error is when we record a transaction it can be a typing error, like instead of entering 100, it can be typed as 1000. It's just typing error, and it can get posted into the bank column of the cash book as 1000. It's just a typing error, and the same amount will be the same type of errors can happen even in the bank records. Bank can also do the same typing error. Like you have deposited a check for 1000, bank had given credit for 100 rupees. The error can happen in the bank side also. So the posting errors can happen from both the sides. So the posting error has to be rectified. So the bank reconciliation is done for two purposes. One is to reconcile balance between bank column of cash book and bank passbook. B, to identify and rectify any errors in posting. This errors in posting need not happen, but if at all that's happened, that has to be rectified. That can happen. That can be identified only by doing a reconciliation, right? So now, what are all the factors that can go into normal bank reconciliation statement? I'm just putting a sample bank reconciliation statement. We discuss about various topics that can be that can come into difference, right, between a bank passbook and cash book. Particulars and amount. Just putting a column, putting a column here. Putting a column here, and we can have date here. Can have date, particulars, and amount. Right? Let's start with. I'm saying like let's take today's date, 30th June 2020. Right? And I'm saying like balance as per cash book. Balance as per cash book. We can obviously do the reconciliation with the starting balance of cash book. That is much more easier way to do it. We can do the reconciliation using a bank passbook also, but the easy way of doing a bank reconciliation is to start from the cash book. Why? Because We know what are all the transactions that we have processed. We don't know what is the impact unless we get the bank statement. We don't know because that is an independent record. Cash book is what actually we have control. So the reconciliation should happen only from the cash book what we have. So let's say it's 1,000. I'm just giving only a format, no arithmetical value. Let's just giving only the balance, right? What are all the transactions that can get added as part of the difference? Let's say add. I have issued a check from the company. Checks issued but not presented for payment. What will happen? In this case, the check is already issued to the bank, right? And I could have reduced the balance in my cash book. But bank has not adjusted it because the check is still not presented for payment. I have issued a check to somebody who has to present it to the bank, and then money will come down from the bank account once the person presents a check for payment, encashment, right? Till the time I have reduced the balance in my cash book because I have issued a check, whereas my bank balance still is very high. So to bring back to the bank balance, I have to add the balance in the cash book because I cannot rectify the bank passbook, but I can always rectify. It is not that I'm not making an error. I'm only adjusting the balance to see that how the difference happens between both the books. There is no error here. I'm just adjusting like what is the difference? Okay, I have processed, I have sent a check, but bank has still not debited that to my money. So add back my cash balance so that my bank balance passbook and cash book reflects the true picture. Okay, that is the purpose of bank reconciliation statement. Then bank obviously can give an interest because we are depositing money. There will be a quarterly interest or interest on fixed deposits, interest on recurring deposits, interest on savings bank account. All those things can be an income to us. So the bank will issue credit interest to interest credited by bank. This is another area like where we will not have recorded this income into our books, but whereas bank has increased the balance for us. So just add back to reflect the correct picture of bank balance and the cash book bank column, right? Then what are all the normal common thing what we have to list is checks deposited but not credited by bank. Not credited by bank. Here in this case also we have deposited a check into our bank account and then by entry what we have processed is we have increased the bank balance, right? Whereas bank has still not given credit as we discussed earlier. It can be because of timing difference. Bank has not given the credit yet. So we have to reduce the bank balance in the cash book so to show that passbook balance and the cash book balance are same. And similarly, bank for providing the services, bank charges not recorded in the cash book. Bank will obviously have some charges coming up for any normal maintenance charges, and that charges bank will reduce the balance in our books in our account. So we have to process a similar journal entry in our books to reduce the balance in our books, right? Then we will arrive at balance as per passbook, as per bank passbook. Right? So hope this concept is very clear to the student, and in the next chapter, in the next class, we will try to solve some of the problems and then also go through in detail what is the timing difference and why it is coming, etc. Let's get into more detail into the next class. Please revise this and come back to me for any questions or clarifications. And as usual, my email ID is given here, babupriya@rediffmail.com. You can always send an email to me and I'll try to address the questions immediately. Have a great day, students. Thank you.